There was some disconnectivity from his side.
Yes, sir.
Yes. No problem. Shall I start now, ma'am?
Sir, just a minute, sir.
Okay. No problem. Yes.
So I'd like to introduce the resource person of the day, Dr. N.S.N. Cailassame. He is the head of the Department of Management Studies. He has completed his BE Computer Science and Engineering and ME in Computer Science and Engineering at State Engineering University, Armenia. He did his MBA at Pondicherry University and completed PhD at Pondicherry University in Business Information System. He has more than 20 years of academic and industrial experience. He is also serving as the placement officer of SMVEC, and under his leadership, the placement team has employed more students in various multinational companies. He is instrumental in signing MOUs with industry and institution. He is also the vice chairman of Madras Management Association chapter. He has published more journals at national and international journals and presented papers in national and international conferences. With this note, I request Dr. Cailassame sir to take over the session on skill, entrepreneurship, development, and employability, challenges and opportunities. Sir, you can take over the session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for the nice introduction. Good afternoon, all. I'm sure afternoon session is a bit difficult session for any presenter. Presentation, whoever the presenter might be, always they'll be saying that because we know as an experienced presenter as well as a human being, attending session post lunch, that from home before the laptop, I know it's a quite difficult thing, but I'll try to make the session as interesting as possible, because these days, India, especially education sector, is buzzing the world with the new education policy, NEP. And this new education policy is really has got a lot of things to do, or it has got a lot of interest for the students and for almost all the stakeholders who are involved with education, as well as stakeholders of nation and state as like. Edukkaga new education policy? And what is the specific? What is the need of the specific topic of skill, entrepreneurship development, and employability challenges and opportunities? And what is this? Why there is a sudden change or sudden introduction of this policy? How it is going to impact as an individual, as a society, as a nation? Okay. Today I'm going to cover as a two-part. One is if someone is new to education, new educational policy, I want to give a brief introduction about what is called new education policy and how, in particular, it is going to impact the students, school students, as well as college-going students, and how it is going to benefit the students as a whole. Okay. So before start with the session, I want to give a small quote by Malcolm X. He says that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. It's beautifully said. Education is the passport for the future. It's a passport again. Those who are going whenever number school school 10th முடிச்சிட்டா life settle ஆனு சொல்லுவாங்க. 10th முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் plus 2 முடிச்சிட்டா life settle ஆனு சொல்லுவாங்க. 12th முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் காலேஜ் அட்மிஷன் கிடைச்சா life settle ஆனு சொல்லுவாங்க. காலேஜ் அட்மிஷன் கிடைச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் இப்ப நல்ல ஒரு காலேஜ்ல கிடைச்ச அட்மிஷன் கிடைச்சி அதுக்கு அப்புறம் for tomorrow சொல்லுவாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் நல்ல காலேஜ்ல வேலை கிடைச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் நல்ல காலேஜ் அட்மிஷன் கிடைச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு நல்ல கம்பெனில வேலை கிடைச்சிச்சுன்னா லைஃப் செட்டில் சொல்லுவாங்க. Some problem with the host is meeting everyone. Okay. கம்பெனில வேலை கிடைச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு நல்ல ப்ரொமோஷன் கிடைச்சா, life is something, it's a kind of progression where each and every time we have to take on further steps. So when coming for education is the passport for the future to the future. That means if you're going to get a good education, you're going to keep yourself in a progression mode. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for today. That means tomorrow belongs to those who are going to get prepared today. That means if you're going to prepare yourself by having good education, the future belongs to you. That's what Malcolm 10 says. Okay. Now let us see how the new education policy. Okay. What are the salient features of new education policy of 2020? The most important thing, all higher education institutions except legal and medical colleges to be governed by a single regulator. That is very important for coming for academics, because now coming for academics, it has been regulated by a lot of bodies like ASAT, UGC. They're coming for accreditation, will be having NAC, NBA, and these things they are going to bring under a single, going to govern by a single regulator. Okay, common norms to be in place for private and public higher education institutions. That's very important, because industry, especially industry, also we'll be having a lot of discrepancies in the terms of the kind of entrance exam happening in a particular state, the kind of admission happening other state, the kind of ease of getting admission in one state, then getting admission will be very difficult in other state. So there is kind of disparity among the citizens of nation. So they want to have some common norm to be in place for private and public higher education institution, where the government wants to normalize the system where everyone will be getting the equal opportunity or equal kind of education. Okay, MPhil courses to be discontinued. This is something of higher education. This second, the fourth point is more important. Board exams to be based on knowledge application. This knowledge application is very important thing, because as you are aware, these days when you are going to have any kind of exam, it is going to be most of subjective, because it is kind of rote model. நமக்கு இந்தியால சொல்லுவாங்க எல்லாமே கட அடிச்சு எழுதுறது, நம்ம ப்ளூ பிரிண்ட் வச்சு எழுதுறது, நம்ம எக்ஸாம் அப்படியே ஒப்பிக்கிறது, படிச்செடுத்து போயிட்டு அப்படியே ஒப்பிச்சு வாந்தி எடுத்தா போதும்னு சொல்லி ஒரு we are known for that kind of rote system where we memorize the answers, and we have to reproduce it without applying any kind of application, without applying any real time or any factual or any without having any interpretation. So here the board exams in the new education policy, it is going to be based on knowledge application. And again, as it has been widely recognized and widely appreciated or widely stated that the formative education, that means especially நீங்க ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கும்போது, ஸ்கூல்ல education ஆரம்பிக்கும்போது, always the mother tongue or mother language plays a crucial role in order to make the students, in order to make the kids to learn the new things in an easier way. Okay, எப்பமே நம்ம சின்ன பிள்ளையா இருக்கும்போது நம்ம நமக்கு மதர் லாங்குவேஜ் எதுவோ, மதர் டங் என்னவோ, அது நம்ம பேசும்போது, அது நம்ம படிக்கும்போது, அதுல நமக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்கும் போது நமக்கு புரிதல் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும், நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும். we will be able to என்ன சொல்றது, நமக்கு அதோட பெனிஃபிட் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு. So அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி what they saying, the new education policy, they are bringing the home language or mother language or regional language to be the medium of instruction up to class 5, because at the same time it is kind of balance between the mother tongue as well as the English, because at the end of the day, when any graduate wants to go for the industry, the medium of communication is going to be in English. So any graduate should have good communication skill in English as well. But at the same time, the students in the school level இருக்கும்போது, school level mother language or mother tongue கத்துக்கும்போது, அதுக்கான ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ், அதுக்கான அவங்க கத்துக்கும் போது அவங்க கிடைக்கிற பெனிஃபிட் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கிறது. நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி சேஸ் till 5th standard students will be studying the mother tongue. In fact, நம்ம உங்களுக்கு அப்பா அம்மா, எங்களுக்கு அப்பா அம்மா, எங்க ஏஜ்ல எங்களுக்கு அப்பா அம்மா எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கும் போது கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, ஸ்கூல்ல தமிழ் மீடியம் தான் படிச்சேன், நான் பியூசி வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் மீடியம் படிச்சேன் இல்ல காலேஜுக்கு வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் கத்துனேன் அதுவே தமிழ் மீடியம் படிச்சேன் this was the things it's kind of things are coming back into the original form. Okay, so that's what it was before, but due course of time, due to what to say, a lot of mushrooming of English schools, or a kind of fond, or kind of what to say, ஒரு போதை ஒரு மோகம் among the parents to put the kids in English school. Things have changed, and they are right from LKG நம்ம இங்கிலீஷ் ஸ்கூல்ல சேர்க்கணும், நம்ம புள்ள இங்கிலீஷ்ல படிக்கணும்னு சொல்லி things have changed. But again, as it has been scientifically proven, as the things the parents are the government has understood the importance of mother tongue. They want to have the mother tongue to be taught, so education to be taught in mother tongue till 5th standard. Again, as I told you, there's going to be common entrance exam to be held for admission to universities and higher education institutions. School curriculum to be reduced to core concepts, integration of vocational education from class 6. That's the most important thing. If in a school curriculum, as Jayachitra was giving in the introduction, NEP is going to be like kind of bagless. They're saying in the NEC educational policy, when a kid is going for when a kid goes to a school, out of total working days, 10 days are called a bagless day. அதாவது புத்தகம் பை இல்லாத நாட்கள். ஓகே, பசங்க புக் எடுத்துன்னு போக கூடாது. பிகாஸ் நம்ம ஒரு இப்ப when the education system has transformed, when we were doing our education, நீங்க வந்து எப்படி சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா பொதி மூட்டை சுமந்து பொதி மூட்டைனா ஒரு கழுதை வந்து நிறைய இது தூக்கும், வெயிட் தூக்குவோம். அதே மாதிரி நம்ம ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கும் போது அவ்வளவு வெயிட் தூக்கி போறாங்க, ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அவ்வளவு வெயிட் தூக்கி போக கூடாது. அந்த வயசுல அது it gives unnecessary stress, as well as அவ்வளவு நிறைய புக்ஸ் அவ்வளவு நிறைய கரிக்குலம் இருக்கும்போது பசங்களுக்கு என்ன இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் எதை படிக்கணுமோ அதை தவிர்த்து நிறைய டைவர்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா பசங்களுக்கு என்ன தேவையோ, பசங்களுக்கு எது இன்ட்ரெஸ்டோ அது டுவர்ட்ஸ் தட் we should channelize the energy or channelize their mind towards what interests them. That is what it comes here. School curriculum to reduce to core concept. Okay, what is necessary to learn, and integration of vocational education from class 6. That's most important thing, vocational education. That's what Jayachitra was saying in the introduction. Like after from class 6, they want to introduce kind of vocational education. Vocational education na ஏதாவது ஒரு கைத்தொழில் சொல்லுவாங்க. கைத்தொழில்னா something which gives you to gain money, which makes you to get you kind of confident that you know something to do. Okay, like carpentry, artisan, or you can say gardening, or any skill. Okay, so they want to introduce these kind of skills right from class 6, so that the student can be exposed to variety of vocational education. In turn, the student will be generating kind of interest, and if needed, if provided, the student can take up the whole career in the particular vocational education, or he can continue, he can pursue his higher education also in the area of interest which is going to interest him. Okay, multilingualism is underlying principle of this policy, as I told. As till 5th standard, guys, students will be learning from the mother tongue. As time passes, they will be learning English, education will be through English, as well as they will be learning what to say. They will be learning some foreign languages as well. Okay, if students has got any questions, we can have it at the end of the session. Okay, some students are raising their question hands, they can have it end of the session. Using the power of language of integration and for understanding of Indian culture and values is an intended objective. The power of language is told, power of language integration and for understanding Indian culture. At the same time, here new Indian education policy says that there should be some integration. The students should understand the values or ethos of the nation. That's what they are slowly integrating, not only the education in terms of studies in science or maths, also they are integrating the arts and science in terms of the different multiple area, multiple spheres of life, multiple spheres of education which any student should learn. In grade 6 to 8, focus is on vocational studies in school level, which includes carpentry, electric work, metal work, gardening, pottery making, etc., as decided by the states and local community. These things will be decided by the state and local community. This is how the education policy has been divided into different ways, like 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, this particular picture will say like how it has been divided. And coming for course structure, நம்ம இப்ப எப்படி படிக்கணும்னா middle school, high school, higher secondary school, அதுக்கப்புறம் காலேஜ் போகும். தட் மீன்ஸ் அதை நம்ம பிரிக்கிறது கிடையாது. நம்ம தோ ஸ்கூல் ஃபிஃப்த் மிடில் ஸ்கூல், அப்போ ஹை ஸ்கூல், ஹையர் செகண்டரி ஸ்கூல் சொன்னாலும் அதை ஒரு ஃபார்மாலிட்டியா பிரிக்கிறது கிடையாது. பட் நவ் இந்த கரண்ட் எஜுகேஷனல் பாலிசி, இந்த கரண்ட் எஜுகேஷனல் பாலிசி, நியூ எஜுகேஷனல் பாலிசி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they are giving more importance to the stages of foundation stage or to preparatory stage, class 3 to 5. Okay, இந்த ஏரியால தான் ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா எம்பசிஸ் பண்றாங்க. Because these areas is the very primitive age where the kids will be on the kids kathukira stage, kids or say a kind of expand பண்ற stage, kids or what to say they will be able to explore themselves. So that is the reason why they are taking this they are taking very seriously, why they want to explore, they want the kids to explore lot of things in different areas. Okay, the existing how they are going, the existing 10% structure school education modified with a new pedagogical and curricular restructuring of 5 plus 3 plus 3 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 covering ages 3 to 18. This means the first 5 years of school will be comprised of foundation stage. Okay, next 3 years will be divided into preparatory stage from class 3 to 5. Later there will be 3 years of middle age classes 6 to 8 and 4 years of secondary stage, that is from classes 9 to 12. இங்க இதுல clear கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. Currently 10+ structure in which policy covers schooling from class 1 to 10, that means age 6 to 16, and then class 11 to 12, that means age 16 to 18, gives way to 5 years of foundation education, that means 3 for preparatory, 3 for middle, and 4 years of secondary schooling. Again, very important thing, multi-stream, flexibility to choose subjects across streams. All subjects to be offered are two levels of proficiency, which we will be seeing that coming slides. And diluted board exams to test only core competencies. That's why I'm saying core competencies could become modular, object and subject, and be offered twice a year. And multilingual 3-language policy to continue with preference of local language medium of instruction till class 8. And bagless day, that's what I'm saying. The school students are having 10 bagless day in a year, during which this bagless day students will go for what to say kind of vocational training program which interests them. Okay, and for colleges, SAT-like college tests will be conducted. Like SAT, every US college admission SAT exam இருக்கும். Same thing will be happening here in India. It's called National Testing Agency to conduct common college entrance exam twice a year. And 4-year bachelor degree, இதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. இதுதான் the 4-year bachelor degree, the kind of bachelor degree which is going to it is kind of new experiment. We are yet to see like how it's going to work. But I'm sure if it's going to be implemented, it will have large impact on students, because students will be having a lot of flexibility in choosing their career, and not only choosing their career, அவங்க லைஃப் எப்படி கொண்டு போகணும், அவங்களுக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வந்தபடி அவங்க எப்படிலாம் அவங்க வந்து அவங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் லைஃபை வந்து அவங்க பேச்சுலர் டிகிரியை வந்து பெண்ட் பண்ணி ஒரு okay அழகா கொண்டு போலாம்ன்றது இந்த particular new education policy speaks a lot about that. Okay, especially I will speak a lot about that. No affiliation. Go next. This is about with respect to education institution. Fee cap. This is all about the education institutions. Okay, how NEP is linked to sustainable development goal is something which is devised by UNESCO, and it says that the sustainable development goal of 4 shares that goal of universal quality education and lifelong. I don't know why someone is meeting regularly. So any other host in this panel? Okay. By 2030, the target is to by 2030 to ensure all the girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant goal 4, effective learning outcomes. By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education, so that they are ready for primary education. and by 2030 ensure equal access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, tertiary education, including university. By 2030, substantially increase the number of youth adults to have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skill for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. By 2030, they want to eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, indigenous peoples, and children in vulnerable situations. By 2030, to ensure that all youths and a sustainable proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. இது நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது கம்ப்ளீட்டா இட் இஸ் பீன் ரிவால்விங் அரவுண்ட் லிட்ரஸி அண்ட் நியூமரசி. லிட்ரஸி அண்ட் நியூமரசி இஸ் a very very important very important term. அதாவது 2-3 டேர்ம் ரொம்ப இங்க ரொம்ப நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி ரொம்ப ரிப்பீட்டா யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. One is called literacy and numeracy. Second is called vocational training. Okay. இது மூணும் வந்து ரொம்ப 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 முக்கியமா நிறைய யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. பிகாஸ் லிட்ரஸி அண்ட் நியூமரசினா என்ன மீன் பண்றாங்கன்னா, லிட்ரஸி இஸ் சம்திங் விச் we all know. It is the how far நம்ம எழுத படிக்க தெரியுது is called literacy. Numeracy is something very important, is called developing the mathematical skill, because it has been proven, it has been advocated that anybody who has got a school education should be good in their numerical ability. இன்னைக்கு நீங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆகிட்டு இன்னைக்கு நீங்க கம்பெனிக்கு நீங்க போகும்போது as a placement officer, I know that as a student, if you are in first year, second year, or if you are in third year going to fourth year, you will be very very well aware companies test the numerical ability of the students. Why? இன்னைக்கு கம்பெனி எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா லாஜிக்கல் எபிலிட்டி, நியூமெரிக்கல் எபிலிட்டி, இங்கிலீஷ் இதெல்லாம் பேசுறாங்க. ஏன் அனலிட்டிக்கல் எபிலிட்டி? இது ஏன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா because they want the students to have their basic mathematical knowledge, and also they want students to think something out of box. Whenever there is a numerical ability, that means you have got some numerical capability, automatically if you are going to solve different kinds of problem, you will be able to think. Your thinking order skills, that's higher thinking order skills will develop. That is the reason why the whole the new education policy is rolling around literacy and numeracy. That's very important thing. Apart from that, they are concentrating more on vocational training. இது என்ன பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு பையனுக்கு படிக்க தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், எழுத தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், மேக்ஸ் எழுத்து படிக்கிறதுல மேக்ஸ்ல அவனுக்கு தேவையான ஒரு ஏன் நியூமரசி பார்த்தா பிசினஸ் ஆரம்பிக்கிறான், இல்ல ஒகேஷனல் ட்ரைனிங் போய்க்கலாம். ஒகேஷனல் ட்ரைனிங் போயிட்டு அவனுக்கும் சொந்தமா கைத்தொழில் வச்சிருக்கான். கைத்தொழில் வச்சிருந்தாலும் அவன் பேசிக் மேத்தமெட்டிக்ஸ் ஸ்கில் இருந்தாதான் அவன் லைஃபை சஸ்டைன் பண்ணதுக்கும் அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு ஆண்டர்பிரினர் ஆகும்போது அந்த ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப்க்கு தேவையான நியூமெரிக்கல் எபிலிட்டி அது இருக்கணும். That's the reason why the whole thing is revolving around literacy, numeracy, and vocational training. This இங்க பாருங்க குவாலிட்டி டெக்னிக்கல், vocational education. அது இங்க பார்த்தா literacy, numeracy. So இங்க பார்த்தா vocational training. Okay, எங்க பார்த்தாலும் அந்த 2-3 வார்த்தை மட்டும் they are using a lot because they understood the importance of literacy, numeracy, and vocational training, and the process has been developed keeping these 3 things in the mind. Okay, by 2030, to ensure that all the learners acquire the knowledge and skills, very important skills, need to promote sustainable development, build and upgrade education facilities that are child, disability, and gender sensitive, and to provide safe, non-violent, inclusive, and effective learning and environment for all. And by 2030, substantially expand globally the number of scholarships available to developing countries as support of SDG. And 2030, substantially increase supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teacher training in developing countries, especially least developed countries and small island developing states. This is of other thing. Okay, now let us see what is importance of new education policies and what are the opportunities. This is our topic. Okay, and we are going to see like how it is going to impact as an individual, as a student. Like what are the takeaways of these new education policies? Break the syllabus of specific discipline. Very important thing, break the syllabus of specific discipline. That means நீங்க காலேஜ் வந்து படிக்கிறீங்க, இப்ப கரண்ட் சிஸ்டம்ல under the current education policy, if someone is going to join the college, if is going to opt for computer science engineering or electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, whatever it is, that means he has to go through that particular course for all 4 years. There can't be any kind of break. But when coming for new education policy, it is coming out with a new policy called something called accumulate and retain credits. Okay, இதுதான் முக்கியமான accumulate and retain credits. That means it says that okay. இப்போ நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி இந்த பார்ட் நம்ம முக்கியமான பார்ட். ஓகே, when coming for higher education, when coming for higher education, like students எனக்கு நமக்கு we are very well aware, like நம்ம பிடிச்ச ஒரு காலேஜ் ஒரு particular discipline join பண்றோம். அந்த particular discipline join பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் maybe in due course of time our interest might change. If my interest is going to change, நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ண முடியும், நம்ம நடுவுல கோர்ஸ் டிஸ்கண்டினியூ பண்ண முடியாது. டிஸ்கண்டினியூ பண்ணா 2 years waste ஆயிடும். Then we have to repeat the whole 2 years. Else what we will doing, we have to go. I think there is some disturbance with some faculty. Who is the faculty? Okay. So நமக்கு வேற வழி இல்லாம நம்ம அந்த ஒரு 3 years or 4 years அந்த கோர்ஸை கண்டினியூ பண்ணி படிக்க மாதிரி இருக்கும். But when coming for this new education policy, whether they say they want to bring the syllabus of specific discipline, and they want to integrate the humanities, arts with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This especially when coming for this new education policy, this plays a very vital role. That is of integration of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is all STEM. STEM is very important thing, which has been adopted very rigorously in all the Western countries. The Western country பார்த்தா STEM ன்ற வார்த்தை ரொம்ப நிறைய யூஸ் பண்றாங்க, especially when coming for right from school ages. நீங்க STEM ன்னு போட்டு பாருங்க Googleல, you'll be able to see a lot of things happening with respect to STEM, because they understood that going forward in future, industry won't sustain with respect to only for engineering or only with mathematics or only with technology, only with science. It has to be integrated. Only when you're going to have integration of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, only then we can consider them as a educated or consider them as a professional. That's a very important thing. That's we're taking this as a cue. The new education policy states that again, I was going through a lot of articles. When coming for a lot of articles, it has been said, like again, if it's not only said, you can observe that lot. A lot of big universities, especially in Western world, they won't be having only engineering. They'll be having arts and science along with engineering. இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஹார்வர்ட் எடுத்துங்க. ஹார்வர்ட்ல உங்களுக்கு மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும், ஹார்வர்ட்ல உங்களுக்கு ஆர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கும், சயின்ஸ் இருக்கும், சைக்காலஜி இருக்கும், மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும், எல்லாமே இருக்கும். It all put together, because it's all put together having individual department. Apart from having individual department, if a student wants to pursue kind of what to say, engineering படிக்கணும், engineering படிக்கும் போது கூட they will be having some kind of courses. So ma'am, யாரோ ஒருத்தங்க அடிக்கடி மீட் பண்ணி இருக்காங்க, some co-host, I don't know who is that, and I know how is happening. I don't know how it's happening. I think next time we have to change the termination. Okay. See, when coming for actually on the new education policy, when coming for new education policy, which says that it is kind of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary. Recognize the role of interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary education, unleashing creativity and innovation, and building 21st century skills necessary for the future paradigm of work. Okay. Okay. So offers an in-depth learning experience on the subject. Let me explain. I'm going to spend some time on this. What is called multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and what is called in-depth learning experience of subject. Now, scenario what is called academic credit bank. Okay, what is called academic credit bank? Let us take a small scenario. If you're going to join for a college, again, the college of Patina, as I told previously, if I'm going to join a college, some due to reason, some due to unknown reason, if I happen to discontinue my studies in the end of first year, what will happen? That means your 1 year is wasted. You won't be getting any kind of certificate, or you won't be having any kind of proof to state that you'll be having only TC. If you're going to discontinue, having only TC stating that you study in the particular college. That's all, nothing more than that. Okay. But when coming for this particular policy, new education policy, நீங்க வந்து first year முடிக்கும் போது நீங்க உங்க காலேஜ்ல due to different reason, if you're going to leave the college, with respect to your education, they'll be giving certificate. Okay, 1 year certificate கொடுப்பாங்க. Again, okay, this one thing. Second thing, in second year, if you're going to discontinue your subject due to various reason, உங்களுக்கு என்ன கிடைக்குன்னா, again, in the current system, you won't be getting any kind of certificate or diploma, whatever it is. Just you have to leave the education in the middle. But here, what will happen? You'll be getting a diploma. Third year, நீங்க டிப்ளமோ, நீங்க உங்க கோர்ஸை லீவ் விடணும், உங்க கோர்ஸை விட்டு நீங்க வேற இது பண்ண ஆசைப்பட்டீங்கன்னா, they will be getting the degree. Okay, though you'll be having 4 years of course. In the 4th years of course, okay, for 4th year, it is going to be focused on the research. For example, if I'm going to join if I'm going to join in which is going to be kind of more of research oriented, where students, though they'll be having PG program, but only with the PG program is something of specialist area. But in the 4th year, you'll be given of more of training or research, so that you'll be exposed. That's what says offers an in-depth learning experience of the subject. So, நீங்க இதுல ஒண்ணும் பண்ணலாம். First year நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டேன். First year ஜாயின் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் எனக்கு இந்த கோர்ஸ் எனக்கு பிடிக்கல, வேற கோர்ஸ் ஜாயின் பண்ணனும்னா, again you can switch over from one discipline to other discipline. It's called multidisciplinary education. Okay, so there are possibility of entering multi-entry and multi-exit. Okay, that's called multi-entry and multi-exit. Multiple time ulla varlam, multiple time ulla polam. That means after first year you can take a break or 2 years of break. Again you can come to second year. After having a second year, again you can take a break. Again you can come back in third year. Again you can take a break. Again come into 4th year. Without, though there can't be any kind of continuity, but your discontinuity is not going to stop you from pursuing your further education. That's the most important thing. Again, if you want to change the course of a direction, you'll be able to change your course of direction by means of this interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary education. It will unleash the creativity and innovation and building the necessary 21st skills necessary for the future paradigm of work. Okay. Again, job readiness, unsolved challenge. இன்னைக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஜாப் ரெடினஸ் பொறுத்தவரையும் ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை இருக்கு. என்ன பிரச்சனை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, there is a huge gap between what the industry expects and what the industry expects and what the students possess, the kind of skills. Okay, அது பெரிய கேப் இருக்கு. The most discussed thing by the employers and job seekers, employers say we are not able to get the students, or we are not able to get the employees of our requirement. Job seekers says that we want job, but when you go to industry, the things which you learn in the college is something different. The things which are expected by the industry are something different, because it's always is there. In order to reduce the gap, the new education policy is come out with kind of vocational training. The vocational training portfolio, I want to share one thing here. Few of our students who are studying in Germany, they used to say, as and when the kid gets into the higher education, that means or school or higher school level போகும்போதே most of the time they will be having half a day school, half a day industry experience. Okay, what are things that they're learning in the school, it has to be implemented, it has to be verified in the industry. That's what same thing is going to happen. That's the reason why Germany is very strong in the engineering, because students from the school age, they're exposed with the industry. They'll be having mentors in the industry. The mentor will be mentoring them. Since they're getting exposed in the industry to the industry, they know what is happening in the industry and how the education which they're learning school la enna kathukuromo adu industry eppadi apply agudhu. So that means they're able to get the application knowledge. Always we used to say you should get the application knowledge. Industry says the students should be able to apply what they learn in theoretical form. There's a huge gap between what is learned what is learned within the classroom and how it is applied in the industry. When coming for this new education policy, once they come to internship, vocational training plays a major role. That means internship பண்ணனும், vocational training school level vocational போணும், காலேஜ்ல வந்து internship போணும். Internship compulsory ஆகும்போது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்கன்னா as a college going student, you'll be going to industry, you'll be working with the industry. In due course of time, you'll get to know like what are things you learn in the school, how it is impacted, how it has been used, how it has been applied in the industry. That means it will going like hand on, like what's learned in the industry, what's learned in the college, and what's been applied in the industry, which gives good exposure. Either indirect, that's what is the kind of opportunity for the employment. It's not only kind of opportunity for the employment. In due course of time, it will give avenue for becoming an entrepreneur. That's a very important thing. In the vocational training, in the internship, this kind of exposure to the industry, these kind of things in the exposing the students in the early stage will make them to inculcate the ability to become an entrepreneur. Okay, focus more on skill development, and there's a big no to building a good report card. That's what I say. When coming for new education policy, report card is not going to speak, it's not going to say a big yes, because it is all about what you learn and how you have been going to apply and how it's been applied. Shift from summative assessment to regular and formative assessment. The assessment, again, the pattern is not only with the education policy, the education policy also says how the assessment is going to happen. When coming for assessment, it is going to be more competency based. It is going to be more competency based. Promoters learning and development. Okay, it promotes learning and development. Learning and development. Test higher order skills such as analysis, logical thinking, and clarity. Again, I am saying big no to report card. It says it is not going to be a summative assessment. It is going to be regular and formative assessment. Regular and formative assessment means that we will be having some assessment. The assessment is going to be applied oriented. And regular assessment. நம்ம எப்படி நம்ம ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கும் போது, நம்ம காலேஜ்ல படிக்கும் போது நம்ம எப்படி இன்டர்னல் டெஸ்ட் இல்ல குவார்டர்லி எக்ஸாம் ஆஃபுல் எக்ஸாம் ஆனுவல் எக்ஸாம் அசஸ்மெண்ட் வச்சு கண்டக்ட் பண்றோமோ அப்படி இருக்காது. Then coming for this new education policy, நீங்க ரெகுலரா கிளாஸ்ல எப்படி இன்டராக்ட் பண்றீங்க, நீங்க ரெகுலரா கிளாஸ்ல கொடுத்த அசைன்மெண்ட் எப்படி பண்றீங்க, நீங்க இண்டஸ்ட்ரி கூட எப்படி ஒர்க் பண்றீங்க, உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் எப்படி பண்றீங்க. So this is going to be a formative and regularly assessment based on the competency. நீங்க உங்க competency எப்படி இருக்கு, உங்க லேர்னிங் டெவலப்மெண்ட் எப்படி இருக்கு, உங்க ஹையர் ஆர்டர் ஸ்கில்ஸ், திங்கிங் ஸ்கில்ஸ், லாஜிக்கல் திங்கிங் எப்படி இருக்கு, இதெல்லாம் பேஸ் பண்ணி உங்களுக்கு உங்களுடைய அசஸ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். So automatically it will create lot of competitiveness among the students. When coming for this particular thing, which I forgot to say about okay. When coming for multidisciplinary, when coming for integrated humanities, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, there's a beautiful thing which was said by one of the renowned educationalists. Why it is very important to students to understand or students to undergo multidisciplinary. Engineering படிக்கிற பையன் எதுக்கு சைக்காலஜி படிக்கணும், engineering படிக்கிற பையன் எதுக்கு எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் படிக்கணும், engineering படிக்கிற பையன் எதுக்கு ஒரு behavioral science படிக்கணும், எதுக்கு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, for example, if you happen to be a civil engineer, okay, civil engineer ஆயிட்டீங்க, கவர்மெண்ட்ல ஒரு ஜாப் கிடைச்சிருக்கு, உங்களோட டேம் கட்ட சொல்றாங்க. If you happen to be a civil engineer, you will be working more towards a technical ability. நம்ம எப்படி டேம் இருக்கணும், அது எப்படி கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணணும், எப்படி அது ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கணும், அதை எப்படி அந்த அந்த பில்டிங் மார்வலஸ் பத்தி முக்காசி நம்ம திங்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்போம். பட் அட் த சேம் டைம் where we should understand where the dam is built, how it is going to impact the stakeholders of a particular area. அந்த பில்ட் பண்ணும்போது அங்க இருக்க மக்கள் வாழ்வாதாரம் பாதிக்குமா, அங்க இருக்க விவசாயிக்கு எப்படி இருக்க போறாங்க, அந்த மக்கள் எப்படி ரியாக்ட் பண்றாங்க, சோ அந்த மக்களை எப்படி கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணும், அந்த மக்களுடைய ஓகே வாழ்வா அந்த மக்கள் அது இதுக்கு அக்செப்ட் பண்ணலாம், அங்க அக்செப்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி what is the right, how to give the right solution. That is the reason why they are saying we should have multidisciplinary education, why along with engineering we should have kind of arts and science, by which we should only not only for civil engineering. Again, if you want to become an entrepreneur, we should understand the customer பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். We should know the finance is most important thing, because these days finance plays a major role. Finance பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Apart from that, we should know other things as well. Okay, apart from that, being a human being, being a citizen of particular nation, we should understand the values, ethos of the particular nation, because these things have plays a vital role in order to build the nation. They make it a point that while doing your studies, you should not focus only on specific discipline, but you should focus on multiple discipline, where it will help you to become a good entrepreneur or good employer or good employee or whatever it is, as a good human being as well. Okay, sorry. Okay, NIP, as I told previously, NIP will also allow students to accumulate and retain credits, as I told previously, what is called, which enable them to continue the learning process from where they are left in case they discontinue due to some reason. The flexibility and autonomy will enable to explore variety of options and build more relevant and in-demand skills. The flexibility and autonomy, that's what I say. The flexibility and autonomy will enable students to explore variety of options and build more relevant and in-demand skills. And use of technology in education planning and teaching, learning and assessment, administration and management, regulation, and other things which are very important. Because again, when coming for all this NEP and all this new things which are going to come, new policies going to come, which will be most use of technology. And when coming for this this particular thing, okay, let me touch. I want to touch on one more part. Let me see whether. Okay. See, when coming for this numeracy and literacy and vocational training, all the stuff, apart from basic of numeracy, literacy, and I'm very sure our students are very well aware that going forward, it's all about coding and computational thinking. It's all about computation. It's not say coding. It's all about computation. Whether you whatever background you are going to come from, whether you're going to come from background of arts or background of science or background of whatever it is. இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா எனக்கு எதுவே எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு இதுவே இப்ப ஆர்ட் இருக்குங்க, ஆர்ட் ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு டிராயிங் வந்து இப்ப வந்து டிஜிட்டல் ஆர்ட் சொல்றாங்க. Digital arts, we got a tab, by means of tab we can draw a lot of things. Pen and pencil poetry. When coming for biology, now it's called biogenomics or biointelligence. A lot of things are coming in biology with intelligence, because AI is playing a major role. When coming for chemical, a lot of things happening with respect to technology. So in the Kalakatla, going forward, no industry is going to sustain or going to live or going to be going to sustain by itself. Okay, it has to be dependent on some other discipline. Okay, that's very important thing. இன்னைக்கு அந்த ஒரு discipline, அந்த ரெண்டு மூணு discipline முக்கியமான discipline, computational ability. இன்னைக்கு we are able to the world is able to develop, our science is able to develop all because of computation. Coming for computation, that means computer knowledge plays a crucial role. The students or any employer or any person are these days are demanded to have basic computational knowledge. These computational knowledge are incorporated right from school days, so that this new education policy wants the students to enable to reskill themselves with respect to computational knowledge. Okay, when coming for vocational education, the prepares people to work as technician or take up employment in a skilled craft or trade as tradesperson, artisan. vocational education sometimes referred to as career and technical education. The policy talks about introducing vocational courses in secondary schools, as I told, is going to happen right from 6th standard in a phased manner over the next decade. NEP also talks about setting up skill labs. That's very important. In fact, last year, our Dean R&D and our EC HOD went to Pune to attend a training session, 5-day training session on Idea Lab, because AICT is producing, is planning to set up a lot of skill labs by which they see. Number education policy create பண்றது முக்கியம் இல்ல. Education policy, creating policy is not a big deal, but providing the right opportunity, providing the right system is the most important thing. Our AICT and UGC and government is taking right step of providing all kind of establishing right skill labs by which they want to enable the students a right skill in collaboration with politics, local industries. There is also proposed system vocational courses through online mode. NEP states a concentrated national effort will be made to ensure universal access and affordable opportunity to all children of the country to obtain quality holistic education, including vocational education from preschool to class 12. The introduction of vocational courses with internship would help streamline vocational education in India. That's very important thing. எந்த vocational course எடுத்தாலும் சரி, நீங்க காலேஜ்ல படிக்கும் போது சரி, நீங்க எந்த வித கோர்ஸ் கிராஜுவேஷன் கோர்ஸ் ஒரு பிஜி பண்ணாலும் சரி, there's something called internship plays a vital role. Internship means how we are going to get connected with the industry, so that what we are going to learn in the classroom, how we will get to know how it is applied in the industry. And language policy, as I told previously, the provision for education in mother tongue till class 5 could pose challenges to mobility of students in large, and it's kind of challenges, but at the same time it is very important. The option to study language like English and Hindi to transfer national needs adequate attention is called challenges. There are few challenges. And coming for language policy, though student might be studying a particular language, okay, mother tongue படிச்சா, but at the same time when students are country like us where we have got multiple diversity of languages, moving from one place to another place will become a kind of threat, or kind of what to say, we should get adequate attention, which the NEP policy is trying to address. Very soon we'll be getting a good result for how they're going to address these issues. Sorry. Okay, again the challenges. Again, when coming for challenges, we have got a lot of idea of National Higher Education Security Council as an apex control organization, and national body for aptitude test is bound to be resented by states. Again, as I told, states கிட்ட நிறைய உங்களுக்கு அந்த national education policy வரும்போது நிறைய state, because as I told, India is a country of diverse culture or diverse geographical maybe culture, but ethnic or various thing. அதுல பார்க்கும்போது again the kind of exposure for the kids are different. So having a common higher education for National Education Regulatory Council, அதை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணும்போது again the state will say that our autonomy is been lost. So again these things will be having a challenge. In federal system, education reform can be implemented only with support from states, and center has the task of building a consistent ambitious plan. Other challenges, lack of popularity of vocational is very important thing. Vocational training சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம ப்ளூ காலரிசம் சொல்றதே கை தொழில் செய்யணுமா? இப்ப பசங்க வந்து பழையபடி அந்த காலத்துல சொல்லுவாங்க அந்த குலத்தொழில் செய்யணுமா, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மிஸ்கன்செப்ஷன் வந்திருக்கு. It is up to the government to I would say eradicate such a thought, and how to overcome this thought among the public. The shift to a 4-year undergraduate college degree system may lead to a situation where overzealous parents may stream the children to profession at the earliest, thus burdening the students further. Again, எப்பலாம் புதுசா ஒரு சிஸ்டம் இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணும்போது நிச்சயமா அதுக்கான ஒரு ரெப்ளிகேஷன் இருக்கும், அதுக்கான பாசிட்டிவ் நெகட்டிவ் ரெண்டுமே இருக்கும். கமிங் ஃபார் நெகட்டிவ், நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸ் நம்ம ஓவர் enthusiasm என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, அந்த பசங்க சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து ஒரு ப்ரெஷர் கொடுத்து ஒரு தேவையில்லாம பர்டன் கொடுத்துடக்கூடாது. Again, when coming for overzealous, பசங்க இதுல நிறைய again I read lot of articles which says that there are possibility where students might be getting diverted into multiple discipline where they won't be able to focus on any single discipline, which will lead to kind of derailing their career. So that's what they're saying. Again, mentorship is going to play a crucial role. Again, when coming for mentorship, எத்தனை பேருக்கு எவ்வளவு mentor இருப்பாங்க, எப்படி mentor பண்ண முடியும்? There are few challenges which are before the government, which are before the policy, which has to be addressed. And there will be complexity surrounding the application of two operative policies, namely the Right to Education Act 2009 and New Education Policy 2020. Again, that's something different, Right to Education Act and New Education for 2020. But these kind of things will be having some kind of repercussion when coming for the what to say, implementing this new education policy. Certain provisions, age of starting school need to be deliberated upon. Okay, again, in the ways the school start பண்ண போறோம், பசங்களை எப்படி அந்த primary, secondary and tertiary எப்படி கொண்டு போக போறோம், these things has to be addressed. And a very important challenge when coming for addressing these when coming for students like college students like you, very important thing is that how the multiple entry and multiple exit is going to impact the education system. Because students பாதியில போயிட்டு 2 வருஷம் கழிச்சு வரலாம், அது ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் வந்துச்சுன்னா அது எப்படி வந்து காலேஜ்ல இம்பாக்ட் பண்ணும், இப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எப்படி இம்பாக்ட் பண்ணும், say learning system எப்படி இம்பாக்ட் பண்ணும், that's the thing. Because சொல்லுவான், எனக்கு ஒரு வருஷம் படிச்சுட்டு நான் 2 இயர்ஸ் கேப் எடுத்து போறோம் சொல்லுவான். சோ அந்த 2 இயர்ஸ் அவன் படிக்கும் போது அவன் படிச்சு போன கோர்ஸ் அப்ப லைவா இருக்கணும். சோ படிச்சு போன கோர்ஸ் லைவா இல்லனா அவனுக்கு என்ன மாதிரி கோர்ஸ் கொடுக்க போறோம். These are few challenges which are already available before the government. I'm sure they are working on that, and I'm sure this education policy will come out with a beautiful system which is going to benefit for the future generation. And I'm sure this education policy will try to address the gap between the employer and the student, industry and the institute, as well as when coming for this internship and vocational training, and to help the students to get benefited, to get exposed of the industry's requirement, by which in turn it will help the students to become entrepreneur. And thank you all for listening to me through the session. What are things which I know I shared with you. I'll try to get back to you with more I would say in due course of time, with more clarification. If you got anything, if you got any question, please put it in the chat box. I'll try to help you out. I'll try to clarify as far as what I know with the little knowledge which I got. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful messages and visualizing the skills required for entrepreneurship and employability. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, you kindly fill the feedback form. It's in the chat box. Would you like to ask any queries? If so, you just kindly type your questions in the chat.
I think there's no question, ma'am.
No, sir.
Yes, we can close from there.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, you gave one form, right?
yes, sir.
Ma'am, we couldn't see a department, computer and communication engineering. We are not
That
having
is CCE is there. CCE. It is there. The acronym is there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.